Imagine a life that accelerates, rises, and then suddenly breaks off. No middle ground. That's the story of Évariste Galois. There was never a comfortable period in his life. Even as a child, he was angry at things, argued, objected. He wrestled more with ideas than with homework. His first encounter with mathematics wasn't about school success, it was a challenge. He sensed a structure behind equations, and that structure felt too narrow for him. At school, Galois was always seen as the difficult kid. In his teacher's eyes, he was a troublemaker. But the truth was this: his mind was moving faster than the classroom. Books felt slow, rules felt suffocating. The problem wasn't him. It was where he was. No one wanted to see that. They tried to force him to fit in. He chose to break rather than conform. At a very young age, he was thrown right into political turmoil. Barricades in the streets, arguments, arrests. France was boiling, and Galois did not choose silence in the middle of it. He spoke, he wrote, he fought. The academy wanted a calm, neat, orderly mind. He arrived with chaos. He was not admitted to university. He was marked as a failure in exams. Why? Because his way of thinking did not fit the mold. The real question wasn't, is Galois intelligent? The real question was, does this boy fit us? The answer was no. What he did in mathematics was not a simple solution. Solving equations one by one felt like a waste of time to him. He wanted to see the structure behind them. He chased the question, why can some equations be solved while others can never be solved? Most people never ask this. He did, and he realized the answer would change the foundations of mathematics. The danger was there. When you change something at its roots, you disturb the people who live off it. He sent his work to the academy. The replies were familiar, not understandable, excessive, strange. The problem was not in the papers, it was in the horizon of those who read them. His manuscripts were lost, forgotten on desks, not taken seriously. Some truly couldn't understand, others simply didn't want to. Galois felt this. I'm telling the truth, but it's not the right time. That sentence splits a person in two. One half wants to move forward, the other wants to give up. He chose to move forward. He struggled not only with mathematics, but with his own life. He experienced heartbreak, a world that rejected him, an academy that didn't understand him, an anger that ate at him from inside. He went to prison, was expelled, was excluded. They labeled him mad, extreme, dangerous. In reality, he was simply doing this, refusing to deny what he saw. The price was loneliness. And then that night came, maybe the quietest, maybe the loudest night. He knew he would go to a duel the next day. The reason for the duel is uncertain. Love, politics, honor? Only one thing was clear. The chance of return was low. That night, he sat down at the table and poured the ideas that had been circling in his mind for years onto paper. Yes, there was haste. But alongside panic, there was something else. I am writing for those who come after me. In the margins, he left words to this effect. Those who read this carefully will understand what I mean. A whole scientific field fit into the last night of a young man. The duel happened the next morning. A shot was fired. Galois fell to the ground. Lying gravely wounded in the hospital, he spoke to his friends. His words were short but sharp. I have not lived. That sentence is the summary of his life. Seeing enough to change the world, but not staying in it. What happened after he died? That is where the real tragedy begins. People finally opened his writings and examined them seriously. Ideas once called unintelligible suddenly became clear. Mathematicians realized the magnitude of the structure he had built. Group theory, algebraic structures, solvability of equations. Today, modern mathematics cannot stand without them. His influence reaches physics, chemistry, even computer science. But this recognition came too late. He was no longer here. The cost of being understood too late is this: you never hear the applause. Galois lived that. He was right, but he was alone. He saw the truth, but he was born at the wrong time. And unlike most people, he lived his ending fast. This is not the story of a prodigy who shone and won. This is the story of how seeing too early isolates you. People usually choose not the truth, but the comforting lie. An idea that disrupts order is first rejected, then sanctified. Galois disrupted the order. He made mathematics say this: not every equation can be solved. The doors of the universe open with symmetry. But to hear this, we had to lose him. Now turn to yourself. If you listen to this only as an interesting tragedy, you stayed on the surface. The real question is this: when you see a truth, and that truth is likely to leave you alone, will you stay silent, or will you keep speaking? Galois was not silenced. The only place he stayed silent was the grave. Today we live with a more honest mathematics because of him. And finally, if this story stirred something in you, don't leave it here. For stories like this to reach more people, your support matters. Like, comment, subscribe. It's just a few seconds for you. But for some lives, it's delayed justice.